Hey, everybody. It is Wild Wild Bets, and this is our Viva Las Vegas Wild Wild Bets Super Bowl 58 edition. And we are here. We Cowboys really got kind of a Wild Wild West matchup between some old prospectors and some Indian Chiefs. So we are ready to go for this Wild Wild West Super Bowl matchup. Mr. Shaney over here, how are you feeling about this upcoming here Super Bowl around these parts?
I'm excited, but there's a hint of sadness as I think about how it should have been me. But it's still the Super Bowl. Super Bowl's great. It's a
Is
national
that
holiday.
that Yu-Gi-Oh video
Yeah,
meme?
it should have
It
been
should
me.
have been me. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm the first week of Super Bowl talk was a lot of just anytime I saw the Niners, I got pissed off. But this week it's been more just actually looking forward to the game. So I think
well,
I'm in whatever stage of grief I'm in, it's a little more enjoyable. So
maybe if we would have named our show the Saharan Bets,
it's a good
there
point.
would have maybe the lines would have made it,
Mm,
So
mm,
anyway, I don't know what to say about the Chiefs, but I guess Chiefs still works. But um
yeah.
anyway, here's the deal, everyone. Wild Bets is a wild wild show, kind of, and we are going to be wild here because, frankly, we are wildly unorganized as far as the Super Bowl goes. And if you don't know, I'm assuming you know this if you're watching the show, but if you don't, there's you can bet on anything for the Super Bowl, and there's an endless list of an endless rabbit hole you can go down of things to bet on for the Super Bowl. So we're gonna hit what we want to hit in the order we want to hit it. It may not seem logical at the time to you, but just ride with us, little doggy. So first of all, just talking about this matchup, I think it's really the matchup that none of America wanted.
Yeah.
But to me, personally, the whole oh, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 50, whatever, 54. I'm kind of like, I don't really care. I don't care about them. Oh, it's a rematch. I really don't care. It's a rematch. That's not honestly to me the story. And maybe I'm ignoring stuff from the San Fran side, but the story to me is Patrick Mahomes and just continuing to
Mm-hmm.
build his already Hall of Fame resume and the Chiefs dynasty. I was listening to a podcast today and Trey Wingo was on it, and he was saying that basically if Mahomes wins this Super Bowl, he matches Brady in winning 3 Super Bowls in 4 years to start his career. And he's basically every important statistical category Mahomes is either tied with or ahead of or on pace to break Brady's records.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't already think Mahomes is the GOAT, which I
Right.
know you could argue he has a long way to go still to prove that, but all signs at this point already if he wins this week, all signs
Mm-hmm.
point to him being just that. So
Yep.
do you think there's any storylines I'm missing here? Like Christian McCaffrey winning a Super Bowl doesn't really mean much to me.
Nope.
I don't know.
I
What
mean,
am I
Andy
missing?
Reid too, as his career starts to,
Oh, sure.
wind down. Um, I don't know. I mean, Brock Purdy, I think there's some storylines there. I mean, the whole thing of being Mr. Irrelevant or whatever has been kind of beaten to death. It just would be to me, it's more that combined with the Trey Lance trade. I'm still just in awe that the Niners could have fumbled a trade up that badly to where you give up 3 future firsts for a quarterback who never even does anything for you, and your roster is still this good. So
Yep.
just being able to win a Super Bowl a couple years after that terrible trade up and it being with a different quarterback would just be, I don't know, it kind of looking at
Unfair.
the Niners Niners GM, Niners roster building. Like this would kind of be the pinnacle of, I don't know. It feels to me like if the Niners go through this stretch they're on and they never win a championship, we're gonna look back on it like kind of like we do with like the Bills right now or teams like that. The Niners have to win one at one point to kind of validate everything they've been doing. So, um, I don't know, front office and coaching storylines, like you said, individual players, I guess, aren't as interesting. Obviously, the national storyline is Taylor Swift and all that, but which I'll just say, like, I know everybody like the hardcore football thing to say is like, oh, I hate Taylor Swift. Like I'm so sick of her
I
or
don't get
whatever.
it either.
I don't. Is anybody dislike Taylor Swift? I think her music's kind of mediocre. Like she makes music for teenage white girls who think barbecue sauce is spicy, but I don't hate her. Like
Yeah.
she's just whatever. It's not her fault that she's like put on TV every time Kelsey touches a football, but I don't know. I have way less of a problem with her than I do with Brittany Mahomes. So
I
know.
don't. Okay. Quick side note: did you see Brittany Mahomes is going to be in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit magazine?
Ugh. I'd rather see
Well,
whatever his
you.
brother's name.
Okay. That all right. I was. My biggest complaint is. Wait a second. I thought they show athletes on the in sports anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, is it the swimsuit or is it that
It's the swimsuit. It's
the
not the body.
body edition?
Yeah, I'd
And
prefer the bot. Never mind.
it's not. Yeah,
So, um, but yeah, I don't hate the Taylor Swift thing. People that are
Tyler
like,
was on that
oh,
edition.
the Taylor Swift thing. It's like I don't get why people are like, man, she's ruining the game. She's on way too much and blah blah blah. It's like, first of all, she's been on I think for an average of like 25 seconds each broadcast. And I think really
Yeah,
what it is the effect of
yeah,
social media, because all the Taylor Swift clips end up getting posted on social media, and some people end up seeing endless Taylor Swift things all week long from that game, and that's why she's always on the game. She's not really. If you just watch the game, but you're on social media, you're going to see it everywhere. For me, the thing that I just don't get is people. If any
yeah,
celebrity is dating, especially one of the star players, it's going to make headlines. And here's my comparison. Simone Biles is dating Jonathan Owens of the Packers, right? How
yep,
many
yep.
games was Simone Biles featured? Not many. Why? Because nobody knows who Jonathan Owens is. He's a middle level linebacker, I guess. And the Packers,
Truly a mid linebacker.
yeah, the Packers don't have the star power that the Chiefs have because of Mahomes.
Right.
Because you have Mahomes and Kelsey, like just those two guys alone, like it builds this, like already the media would be all over the place because of Mahomes.
Yeah.
And now you have, and again, it's not like Taylor Swift is dating like, I don't know, like Rasheed
The
Rice
punter or
or
something.
yeah,
Right.
she's dating the primary pass catcher and stud tight end, arguably best tight end of all time on the team. Like there's a big
Mhm.
difference
Yeah.
there between her dating him and Simone Biles dating some some dirty played linebacker.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hate the Packers. So I think there's a big difference there. But I think about like
Yeah.
Tony Romo and when he was dating Carrie Underwood,
Yeah.
like, or what was it? Or no, was it Carrie Underwood or no? He was dating Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember there was all sorts of coverage of like they'd constantly show Jessica Simpson up there. Nobody was complaining. Like Brian
Yeah.
Urlacher dated Paris Hilton. Nobody was complaining. Like it's just because it's the perfect storm, and I really think it's the effect of social media now. Um, and I guess Taylor Swift really is like it, it's somewhat convenient that it's also happening during this huge tour, worldwide tour she's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it doesn't make me mad.
Yeah. And it feels like it's the kind of thing like just if you're annoyed by it, just get through the Super Bowl. It's not going to be as big of a storyline next year. Like let's
Yeah.
just everybody can relax about it. But
No,
yeah.
you relax.
All right.
um okay. So let's get into this then because there's a lot to talk about, especially when we get to props.
Mm,
Um so let's just start straight up with lines and overs and maybe some touchdown scoring
okay.
discussion here. So the line is 2.5 points favoring the 49ers. The Chiefs are technically the home team, but yeah, the 49ers, 2.5 point favorites. What are your thoughts here?
So money looks like it's been coming in about even. I was listening to a guy who's like a sports capper in Vegas today. He was saying it dropped down to 1.5. Immediately, a ton of Chiefs money came in, but there's no way you can put this up to +3. Or when it went down to 1.5, Niners money came
49ers,
in like
yeah.
crazy. Yep. There's no way you can put that number up to 3 because at that point you're gonna have like that's a hugely powerful number. Obviously, right now here
Yep.
on FanDuel, I'm seeing Chiefs though is +2.5 is the
Yep.
juiced side, so it's -115. This feels to me, and I'm trying to think of other examples of this. There's times when I just get a bad read on a team and I let myself continue to be wrong about that team just over and over and over again and let that one team kill me. It feels like it's been the Chiefs for me this year, where it's like every postseason game I bet against them, just thinking like this isn't the same Chiefs team of normal.
Yep.
Their defense is better, but their offense has had problems all year. It's not the same Chiefs. They get artificially inflated lines because of Mahomes. He's obviously great, but like even Kelsey hadn't looked great this year. But they just keep proving me wrong. And so this to me feels like another spot. If you look across the board at basically every spot except quarterback, the Niners are a better team. It's just obviously that's the most important spot. And how many times can I keep betting against the Chiefs? I think I need to though here again. Like the Niners are just such a superior team. It feels like so they had struggled against the Packers, struggled against the Lions. It feels like the second half of that Lions game they kind of figured it out and looked like they had looked like when they were at their peak earlier in the year. I don't know, man. I think I'm going Niners here. I wonder too about so -2.5. I'd hate to have the Niners win, but win by 2. So money line -130. If I could parlay that with something else, I just think the Niners win the game.
I feel very opposite to you. I feel
Yeah.
I feel very strongly on the Chiefs here. I was on the wrong side of the divisional game against Buffalo, and
Mhm.
after that, I was all Chiefs on when they played the Ravens, and obviously that worked out well. Um, I just, for me, Patrick Mahomes has not shown himself very capable of losing in the postseason. He's lost,
Mm,
I think, 3 postseason games total, and he's played like 19 games in the
yeah.
postseason. It's absurd.
It's it's
Like
crazy.
I just don't, and this like you're I don't know, the Super Bowl he's rising to. I just know he's going to rise to the occasion. Um, I mean, he won a Super Bowl last year and he was playing hurt like the whole time. And and compared to the 49ers, I do understand they have all these pieces. I understand they both against the Packers and the Lions, they had little spurts where they were starting to show life of who they are. But it was frankly in both cases too little, too late. Obviously, they beat both teams, but it was like a closer call than it probably should have been. Um, in both cases, if they came out guns a blazing. Um, so my biggest thought with it is this is Purdy's first Super Bowl.
Mhm.
How does he handle the pressure under the lights? Um, and I don't know. I look at like I just think back to these postseason games. The Packers game, the Niners looked rough the whole game, and then last drive was magical. Like he looked perfect the last drive and led him to the victory. Right against the Lions, Purdy struggling pretty much the whole game, and then got a huge stroke of luck with just the bounce off of Vildor's face mask into Ayuk's hands. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's one of those plays in football where you literally just were gifted the best bounce possible. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that turned everything around, like all the momentum. And obviously, right after that, you had the fumble and everything. It was like that, but that one play, that was like if I can make a Cubs comparison, that was the Steve Bartman moment where everything just, you felt the whole world just turn on its axis,
Well, I
do a
mean, like
complete 180.
I'm a Lions fan, so I'm biased. But to your point, I think if Vildor, because that ball hit him right in the face, if he picks that ball off
Yeah.
right there, the game's
Yep.
over. So
Um, yeah, it changed everything.
right.
But it was such a, so anyway, I am just frankly, I'm not a Purdy hater. Like I'm not like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he sucks. But I'm not convinced that he's as good as some people say.
I'll
And
admit, even though I said I think I'd taken the Niners, I think Purdy sucks.
I
Like
don't
not
think
just
he sucks.
like
But
I think he sucks. I think the offense
um
is good. I do think he sucks.
I just feel like I can't seriously stare at this line and see a plus sign next to the Chiefs name
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
like, I'm going to go the other way. Like you're giving me points. Are you serious? Like, sure. I placed a bet as soon as they posted lines after the championship game, and it's sitting here at plus 488. I took Chiefs money line. I parlayed Chiefs money line, McCaffrey touchdown, and Kelsey touchdown. And
Mm,
I I'm loving
interesting.
it. And when I get to betting this, and I'm gonna do plus 2.5, it just is so, I don't know. But part of me is like, I don't even want to bet 2.5 because I just know the Chiefs are gonna win. Like
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
confident in the Chiefs. Go ahead.
If you think the Chiefs are gonna win, plus 110 versus minus 115 is it's a much bigger difference than it looks like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Um, so to me, it's, I don't know. And I guess here's kind of a way to look at it. If I'm gonna come out on the wrong side, I'd like I'm comfortable being wrong, putting money on Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was my hesitation because I agree with that
So,
line of thinking. Yeah.
oh, my other reasoning is just that Kyle Shanahan continues to have these like collapses, it seems, in games where he just can't get anything going right for his team. Um, And again, I point to both of those games as they were kind of like weird, fluky things that led to
Mm,
the Niners being in a position to win. Like, if it seems like the Niners are going to need the Chiefs to make mistakes in order to win the game,
mhm.
I just don't. I don't know. I mean, if someone's going to make a mistake, it's not going to be Mahomes. It's going to be Pacheco, or I don't know, if do they let Tony touch the football? Do they let
I think he's
um
out, isn't he? Didn't they
Val
say he's
is
out
he
for this
out?
game?
Do they let Valdez Scantling touch the football? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, but
Yeah.
that's where I've planted my flag. So I will say I'm oh okay, so let's do over under. Is that cool?
Yep. I was gonna go there next too.
All right, so 47.5 is the over under
Ugh.
here on FanDuel. It's a pretty good number that they set for
Yeah,
this one.
it hit 48 apparently like earlier today, and
Okay.
I was leaning under. If I could have got an under 48, I would have taken it for sure because
Yeah.
then you get the push at 48 exactly. 47.5 is a tough number, man. It
Yeah.
feels kind of high. Chiefs play good defense. Niners have good defensive players. I know their defense has kind of looked bad the first half of these last two games. I don't know. Like you wonder, like, does a Purdy interception in the red zone or does Andy Reid go for it on 4th down in the red zone and get stopped? I think I lean under, but I'm not sold on it yet.
Do you want to know what I say about the points?
Mm-hmm.
Can you take me higher? All
Great.
right. Yeah. We're going over here, ladies and gentlemen, because 47, you're talking about like a 24-23 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is going to
Okay.
be a good game. It's going to be a close game. But I have made the score prediction for this game in my coworker league that I want to talk about here at some point.
Okay.
My score prediction is Chiefs 30-28.
Okay.
And it doesn't, in my
Hits the over by
brain,
10 points. Jeez.
it doesn't seem that hard to get there. It does like
No, it
these
doesn't
like
seem like a wild prediction, right?
either of these teams can put up 30 no problem. And I
Yeah.
understand the Chiefs beat the Ravens with 17 points. That's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
I've been frankly, I've been very unimpressed with the 49ers defense this postseason. I don't remember how many the Packers hung, but they hung plenty. And the Lions hung 20. The Lions were just marching down the field at will
Mm-hmm.
until the big shift that we talked about earlier. Like,
And the Lions beat themselves kind of with like unforced errors, honestly, more.
yeah,
Like
the
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 actual flow of their offense, they were carving up the Niners.
the Chief or not the Chiefs defense has been impressive. The Niners
Mhm.
defense, not as much. Like, if
Yeah.
anything, I would be concerned about the Niners not scoring enough, not the Chiefs. Like, I
Mm.
fully expect the Chiefs to put up anywhere from like from like 27 to 34 points, somewhere in there. And
Mhm.
if the Chiefs do that, then I don't need as much help from, like, I just need the Niners to
Yeah.
score like 20 basically. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Mm.
I actually really like the over. I feel like it. I know you said it seems like a high number. I actually feel like it's kind of an overreaction to the Chiefs' defensive performance against the Ravens. That's
Could
kind
be.
of my
Yeah.
thought.
I could see
Um,
it. Yeah. Because I had the under in that game, and the first half looked like it wasn't going to hit, and then I think there was like 0 points scored in the second half.
yeah, I had the under in that game. I know too.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm feeling good about the over for this one. So,
Mm.
if you don't mind, let me talk to you about my work league that I know everyone cares
Yeah.
so much about. No
I've
one cares.
It's been fun to follow along. I like when you send me the updates for it. So
So
who's winning right now? Like,
so
is it just a week by week thing, or
yeah, we're doing it week by week. So for those that
okay.
don't know, I don't think I've talked about it on here, but a couple coworkers and I,
You
we
did?
do a friendly we do a friendly bet over pop. So each week with the playoffs, we were picking different things that we agreed on, and at lunch together we would make our picks, and then during the weekend we'd watch the game, and whoever got the most points would end up with a pop. So from the losers. So here
Mhm.
are my Super Bowl picks. So Chiefs plus 2.5, over 47.5, outright winner Chiefs. My score 30-28, which I pretty much shared all that on here.
Mhm.
Um, After that, I have props, which I know we're probably going to go ahead and transition to here. Um, so we do. So I try when I'm the one that created this game for us to make these picks. And so I was trying to figure out a way for us to differentiate in case we make similar picks. So for
Mhm.
touchdown scorers, my rule was I took the total points from our playoff betting and arranged it from least points to highest points, and then allowed the least points to pick a draft spot, 1, 2, or 3. And we did a snake draft to determine what touchdown scores you picked. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So
Yep.
so I picked third because I had to have the most points so far this postseason. And so my coworkers, they went, I'm trying, so 1, 2 was McCaffrey, Kelsey, And I was
Mhm.
shocked actually that my one coworker took the second spot. So the one with the least amount of points took the first spot because he just wanted to lock in McCaffrey, which makes sense. The second
Fair.
one,
Yeah.
the second the second one chose to pick second. I was kind of like, really? Like, if it were
Hmm.
me, I would want third so I can pick back to back.
Yep.
So I ended up with third, and I picked Ayuk and Pacheco. Um,
Hmm.
and
So he got Kelsey. You have Pacheco,
yep,
Ayuk.
yeah, and
Trying
then
to think who else would still be. It'd be
so
really tempting for me there just to go both tight ends. Go Kittle and
so that's what
oh,
he did.
Kelsey was off the board already.
He did
Okay.
Kittle and
Yeah.
Kelsey,
Okay.
and then the other coworker. What did he decide on? I think he put Debo.
Okay.
So, but I
No
don't
one
know.
took Rashee Rice.
I don't know. I look at Ayuk and Pacheco. They both scored in their championship games, I think. Or no, Pacheco didn't, but I
Yeah.
feel really good about both of those guys.
Yeah. Mhm.
And yeah. So then we made our own line for this based on minimal research, but how many Taylor Swift appearances will there be on the broadcast?
So
Um
if you who had Kelsey
my
touchdown? Was that one of your coworkers?
yeah.
So he's probably going to take the over because if Kelsey scores a touchdown, that's going to be a couple appearances. So,
Um so the line we set is 6.5,
mhm.
which if you think about it, it both seems like a lot and also like not a lot, depending on yeah. Anyway,
it's
um,
it's over for sure. Like maybe I'm just so they're going to show her walking into the stadium at
will
least
they?
once.
Isn't she flying like during the
Well, they
game?
always do the her walking up down the aisle or whatever. They're going to show her on the field at the end of the game, 100%. Especially if you
If
think
they
the Chiefs are going to
win,
win.
yeah.
They're gonna show her in the press box, and if he scores for sure, at least a couple times off of catches he has, and then they'll probably show her like during the anthem or something. I feel like that's an easy over.
You just listed like five.
Yeah, that's six and a
Six
half.
6.5 is the
And plus, that's not even counting times announcers are just like, and we have her in attendance, and just go to her just because. I think
her
they're
is a
really gonna
different
milk it.
musician, just so you know, but I'm
No,
just kidding.
I think it's gonna be over for sure.
Yeah. Coin flip, I chose heads because
Hmm.
tails always fails from my experience.
Yep.
Gatorade color, I chose yellow, which is kind of
Do you know what the
unpopular.
actual betting favorites are
I don't,
for
but
this?
we're gonna get to that in a second.
Okay.
The other thing I also want to get to here in a second is the first song performed at the halftime show. Um, we did a snake draft for
Mm.
that as well. Um, and I again was left with the last pick. And I'm really happy with what I got because I ended up with yeah. Um, which honestly, I think
How's that
OMG
not
is
the
what
first
he's
one off the board?
well,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I think OMG is what he'll open with. And I think yeah will be closer to the finish, but I still think Yaz probably I could also see that being reversed. I don't know. I could
Hmm.
totally see like the stadium being dark and everything, then all of a sudden you just hear Big Town, Ace Up.
That'd be
Yeah.
that'd be
Like
great.
I don't
I'm
know.
looking forward to this halftime show.
The coworker with the first choice chose DJ Got Us Fallen in Love. I just
No,
don't see that being the first song out. He'll perform it,
he'll
but
do it. Yeah, but it's
yeah.
not the first one. Hmm.
And those three songs are like the only Usher songs I know. So do you know many songs by Raymond?
Raymond. Yeah, is the main one. I'm trying to think what else he would for sure do. Um, I mean, the main one I liked the best by him when I was growing up was the Confessions one, but a lot of those don't. They're like more sad. Him confessing what he did to his like girlfriend or whatever. Those don't really work for the Super Bowl. It's going to be more of the pop ones. It's probably going to be a lot of the ones like he was featured on with other people. Um,
Ugh.
I don't know because who's There's at least a couple people that have been announced they're going to be featuring with him, right?
I have no idea. I'm assuming they always have somebody. All right, let's officially just get into props. Okay, dude, I saw these game specials on FanDuel. This is interesting. All right, you ready for this?
I'm looking at him right now.
Do you see this one that's Christian McCaffrey, 35 plus rushing yards in each half?
Yeah. Plus 100.
Yeah. Am I an idiot?
How is each team to score 1+ rushing touch? The
I
one
saw
above
that,
each team to score plus 15. Okay, each team to score 1+ rushing touchdown and 1+ passing touchdown in each half. Obviously, it's not a layup. Like but plus 15,000. That feels really high.
That almost feels worth putting $1.
$1 to win 100. It feels what?
It feels worth it to put $1 down on that.
You say $1 to win $150. Especially if you're already leaning over.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, even the one above
That's
that, each team
crazy.
to score 1+ touchdown and 1+ field goal in each half. I don't like that as much as 15,000. I'm locking
That's
this in
only
right now.
2,600. I like the other one. I think the other one's just as likely, and it's.
I'm putting $1. I'm doing this.
The odds.
I'm doing it. $1. It's happened.
Crazy. I'm doing it too.
That's
$10. I'm just kidding.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
$100. How much do I have to put on this to retire?
See, this is crazy. So like so that was 15,000, right? At 10,000 is Travis Kelce to score the first touchdown and Rashid Rice to score the last touchdown. That's way harder.
How is that more like right?
That's
okay.
Way
let me make
harder.
sure I'm just not reading this wrong. Each team to score 1+ rushing touchdown and passing touchdown in each half. So that's basically it's 4 touchdowns for each team.
Yeah.
So
I guess
that's like getting you way over so it's a lot, but it's not that much more than anything else you'll get for plus 15,000. Huh. Okay.
For plus 30,000, you can bet that there's no touchdown in the game at all.
That would be hilarious. I honestly I don't hate that.
You
plus
won't. You
30,000. I'm gonna bet one bet that there's gonna be all the touchdowns, and then I'm also gonna bet 0 touchdowns. These are both such great bets. And we are off and running.
Wild bets, baby. Yeah. All right. Can we talk about touchdown scores though before we get too far off here?
Yeah, let's do it. That's the classic. If you're betting props, those are that and like yardage overs are the main ones.
So obviously McCaffrey's pretty much a shoe-in, minus 230. There's not really even betting value there.
Stupid. No, because he gets hurt or something. And there's just you throw that in a parlay. Yeah, you don't.
But McCaffrey 2+ touchdowns goes from minus 230 for 1 to plus 230 for 2. So
I like that. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
Because that's receiving or rushing. So
yeah,
I could see him for sure catching one.
Pacheco minus 125. That's enough. If you feel confident, that's low enough or a hot bet, good enough of odds, I'd bet it. And Kelsey's almost even money at minus 105. That's probably the one I would bank on the most there because I'm very confident he'll score a touchdown and you get almost even money for that.
I like Ayuk plus 155 a lot.
Yeah, that one's I agree with Ayuk there.
I kind of like Mahomes plus 410 a lot too.
Ooh, that I like that too.
Anything past that, it gets kind of crazy. Clyde Edwards-Helaire might be interesting. Maybe like they run Pacheco into the ground, like getting to the red zone, and then like third down they put in MVS. I think at that point, the highest odds I go here though is Mahomes plus 410. Or sorry, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I do like Mahomes actually a lot there, but here's my like sleeper. I don't know. Maybe I'll sprinkle a little on it. Plus 950. Plus 950 odds. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Checking. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of tinny, but I hear you.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes.
Check. Hello?
All right, I think we're good now.
All right. I really kind of like for a little sprinkling action, plus 950 for Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. His rushing prop. So I was listening to a guy who that I think I was saying earlier. I was listening to a guy who's a Vegas lines maker. He said the most bet prop he saw at his book is Juszczyk's rushing total over. Let me look at this. Rushing yards. Crap. Where? I don't even see it here. I thought he said the total was like 3.5 rushing yards was his line, and that tons of people were
Let
betting
me see if
on
I can
it.
find it.
I don't even see it listed here. Travis Kelce over 0.5 rushing yards is plus 750.
When does he ever rush, though?
I don't know. That's awesome.
I
feel
don't
like
know if
Reed
I've ever
could have a
seen him
trick
do
play.
that.
I could see Reed tossing him a pitch on a trick play or something.
Maybe.
That's hilarious. Would
Yeah, I
they do
don't
the
see
tush
that.
push with Travis Kelce?
I don't see one either at this moment.
Yeah, I don't even see that on here.
Where was
That wasn't
I at?
it's not FanDuel that he was talking about. So
Oh, okay. Okay,
huh.
let's keep it moving then, because there's just so much we can talk about. So, um, do you like anybody other than McCaffrey for 2+ touchdowns?
Pacheco maybe, Kelce maybe. I think that's
Yeah.
all.
Okay.
Kittle maybe would be interesting because his odds for one touchdown are already really high. He's already 180 for one touchdown. I don't know.
So
I don't go 2+ touchdowns much. If anything, I'd look at like a first touchdown.
Yeah.
Because there you're getting like triple the odds or more. So
I
yeah.
find this super interesting. MVP odds. The
I
Chiefs
was
are
looking at this
two and a
too.
half point underdogs, yet Mahomes has the worst odds for MVP at plus 150.
Yeah. I think it's
Interesting.
because you think, okay, say I think the Niners are going to win. I still don't feel confident that Purdy would be the MVP
Yeah, but
because there's a
if
really
you
good chance McCaffrey takes it from him. So it's like,
yeah, but if I'm you can bet McCaffrey first of all, but say if Niners is the consensus favorite,
right.
why would the opposing team's quarterback have worse odds?
It's just because he's basically a lock if they win. If the Niners win, you're still looking at like a 50-50 chance between
I
Purdy and McCaffrey.
guess.
So it's basically then you're splitting. I think it's more likely. So for me, I think it's more likely the Niners win than that the Chiefs win by a little bit. But to then say, okay, not only I need the Niners to win a game they're only a 2-point favorite in, I also basically have a coin flip between these two players for MVP. It's like the odds of that happening versus just if the Chiefs win, Mahomes is going to be the MVP, basically. You know,
Yeah. I don't
I don't
think
know. You can
I don't
see
think Purdy gets
Echo.
him.
Yeah,
I don't think Purdy gets MVP if the Niners win. I think it's I think like McCaffrey. I don't even think Debo or I think it would be McCaffrey or Ayuk are going to be your MVPs for the
what do you do if
Niners.
McCaffrey only rushes for one touchdown and like 60 yards, but Purdy has 3 touchdowns and they win? Like I could see him getting it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Plus 31,000 is Sam Darnold.
Imagine you're the one guy who bets that. First drive of the game, Purdy gets hurt and goes out.
Yeah.
Darnold drives the field. He scores 5 touchdowns and wins the Super Bowl. Awesome.
All right.
You know what? That's exactly
The
what I hope happens. I hope Sam Darnold comes in and drops 7 touchdowns on the Chiefs.
the worst odds, or the best odds, if you will, plus 75,000 for offensive lineman Trent Williams to win.
So that's because he's never going to win it, obviously. But you could
Yeah.
argue a scenario where you look back at the game and say he actually was the MVP of the game.
Yeah, but how does that help me betting wise? It's not helpful.
No,
at
it
all.
doesn't. That's a stupid bet. Yeah, his mother wouldn't place that bet, but thanks for the offer, FanDuel.
All right. All right, I think that's pretty good on standard Super Bowl bets. Let's keep it moving. Did you see on FanDuel they have a category called Super Bowl 58 specials?
Let me go there now. I think I was just there. All right, finding it. Game specials. I think that's the same thing.
It might be. So I don't know. The one I see says Super Bowl specials, but so the top one there for plus 150 says Mahomes and Purdy to combine for 50 plus rushing yards. Based on how much Purdy was running last week, that seems sort of like a lock, doesn't it?
I kind of like that. Yeah. Because Purdy had 50 by himself last week.
Yeah.
I think Purdy was their leading rusher.
He was, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe he was. I know McCaffrey had a couple.
I don't think McCaffrey actually ran for that many yards. I think he just scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the Lions' run defense did well. He just scored. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you're right. He did.
I like the plus 150 for that. I also think that Chris Jones and Nick Bosa to both record 0.5, a half sack each, is interesting.
Is that parlayed together or?
It's under the special. They're both put together here for plus 340.
So let me go here because you can just do Nick Bosa to record a sack is minus 104, Chris Jones to record a sack is plus 132. I would say if you're gonna bet that plus 300 whatever, and then bet each of those by themselves separately.
There you go.
To basically make sure you're gonna make a profit either way, because you'd hate to have one of them get one and the other not. I feel like it's pretty much a lock that one of those two will,
though. Man, they just have a bunch of stuff on here.
I like Karlaftis to record a sack too, plus 110.
Let's see here. Man, this is what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. You can just keep going on and on. Let's see. Deebo Samuel to record a 30-plus yard rush. That's kind of fun. For plus 950.
That's really good odds. Why not?
Let's see. Ooh, this one's interesting. Okay. This is kind of, I like this one. Okay, you ready for this? Plus 800, Travis Kelce to catch every one of his targets.
Oh, boy.
That's tough. But I kind of
every one of his targets, though, but like
So if it's well past
broken up by... Yeah, I don't like that. What's the odds on it, though?
Plus 800.
Okay. It's high enough you could justify it as like a fun bet. He also has had drop problems all year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's high enough odds that I think part of betting the Super Bowl is you pick like 5 or 6 bets like that and just bet them for fun.
Let's see.
Yeah, why not?
Travis Kelce, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Rashee Rice to combine for 400 plus receiving yards.
Holy crap. No.
Plus 1,300. Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes, and Isaiah Pacheco to combine for 300 plus rushing yards. This is always a fun one. Okay. Either quarterback to catch a pass from any player for plus 2,400.
So I don't know. I just feel like you can't put Mahomes in a position to get hurt like that. And Purdy, I just don't see. Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather bet something else higher odds, but
Um, a 60+ yard field goal to be scored for plus 3,500.
60 plus.
They're indoors.
I could see it's Butker, right, for the Chiefs. I could see him doing it. I don't think you can trust Jake Moody to do that. Like
And the
I
thing
love
is
him
about
from
Butker
Michigan,
is that I think that I think that Patrick Mahomes is so good that he would make sure that he has a closer kick than 60+ yards.
that's a good point too. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also being Mahomes, I would almost think like if it's 60+ yards, they're just going to run a Hail Mary.
Well, Andy Reid also just doesn't like, like he'll take a chance on his offense before he kicks that field goal. So, yeah.
McCaffrey and Pacheco to both score 1+ receiving touchdown each for plus 3,200. Interesting.
Does Pacheco catch the ball much? McCaffrey, obviously,
Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
very likely. Okay.
Any non QB to throw a passing touchdown plus 3,500.
I like that. I like that.
Matt Nagy and Andy Reid would for sure run something like that.
My hot take is that they're gonna somebody's gonna try it. It's just a matter of if it's gonna end up being a touchdown.
I just
Doesn't
placed a
that
bet
feel
on
like
it.
something they would have
Yeah,
McCaffrey throw a touchdown?
yeah,
He's done that before on the
yeah.
Niners. He's thrown touchdown passes.
It was like his first game with the Niners. Yeah,
Well, he had that game where he caught one, threw one, and ran one, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap! For 18,000, any player to record 506+ passing yards, it'd be a Super Bowl record.
I mean, what is it? Plus what? 13,000, you said?
Plus 18,000.
18,000.
506+ passing yards. Is there any
So
world where
I'll
Mahomes
just
does that?
say Mahomes is the only one of the two that might do that.
Yeah.
Purdy's not going to do that.
No.
That'd be interesting. I mean, sure. You could throw it on there.
Ooh, plus 50,000. The first offensive play of the game to result in a safety.
Imagine betting that in that Denver.
Yeah, the Denver
Super Bowl,
Seattle game.
I did it.
Oh man. All right. Well, so those are some of the specials they have. I always like this one. Not that I bet it ever, but will there be a scoregami? So
Yeah, there's no benefit to if you put no, it's like what minus 10,000 probably.
yeah, and yes is plus 2,500. So
You could throw no in a parlay, but just imagine the pain. If you're doing stuff like that, imagine you hit a 10-leg parlay. The one leg that doesn't hit is that it's a scoregami. You threw that in to increase your odds by like 7 points. Yeah, I don't know. That's like you can't even throw that in a parlay, in my opinion. These are fun. Have you looked at the Triple Crowns? Have you seen those?
No, where's that at? Oh, I see it now.
So Triple Crown, most passing, receiving, rushing. So you pick 3 players.
Okay.
So basically this one is Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Christian McCaffrey would to be the most passing yards, most receiving yards, and most rushing yards. So it's a 3-leg parlay basically of the player you think leads the game in each of those categories.
That's fun. I do like that a lot.
So let's craft the best one, we think. I think Mahomes, because I think the Niners are going to run the ball more.
Yeah.
So I'd say Mahomes is the quarterback.
Okay.
Most receiving.
I got to think about
Ayuk?
receiving, but I'm going to go ahead and say I like Pacheco over McCaffrey for rushing yards.
Okay. So Mahomes, Pacheco.
Do you agree with me?
I could see it for sure because I think McCaffrey is going to be the touchdown scorer.
Yeah, right.
They have so many weapons on the outside, though. I don't know that they're just going to run him the ball 30 times,
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go with that assumption, though. So Mahomes and Pacheco. So now we're just looking for the receivers in the middle. If you want that to be Deebo Samuel, your odds. No, but it's the first one I see. So Mahomes, Deebo, Pacheco plus 2,500. Mahomes, Ayuk, Pacheco is also plus 2,500. I like that one a lot, actually.
I like that one way more than
Mahomes.
You want to bet it together? You want to do it?
Plus 2,500. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So bet slip, Triple Crown. Most passing, Patrick Mahomes. Most receiving, Brandon Ayuk. Most rushing, Isaiah Pacheco. All right, I just placed it. Those are fun. I saw that earlier before we started recording, and I wanted to do one of them. So, all right, I like that.
I like that a lot. I want to see what the worst, or the best odds are. All right. So for plus 10,000,
Most passing, McCaffrey.
Brock Purdy, most passing, most receiving, Juwan Jennings, and most rushing, Patrick Mahomes.
What? What are the odds? Plus 80,000.
Plus 10,000.
Yeah, that's dumb. I like ours plus 25.
Oh, this one's great too. Okay, this one also plus 10,000. So most passing yards, Brock Purdy. Most receiving yards, Travis Kelce. Most rushing yards, Brock Purdy.
Most passing yards, Brock Purdy. Most receiving yards, Brock Purdy.
Also, Brock Purdy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Triple Crown, that's cool. I like that. I like that prop a lot.
Yeah, that's fun. I wanted to do one of those. So here's what I've got right now. I haven't bet like the favorites or anything. But
yeah, go ahead.
I did our Triple Crown, and then I did that each team to score one rushing touchdown, one passing touchdown each half, plus 15,000.
You parlayed that?
No, those are the two.
Okay. I was gonna say, wow. I mean, that's got to be crazy odds of that. You're gonna make.
Also, FanDuel has their no sweat same game parlay.
Oh, baby.
So make sure whatever parlay you put the most money on, use that.
Okay. So they have this one that's interesting. The fastest offensive ball carrier recorded.
I saw that. I don't like betting stuff that I don't know how they calculate. Like, I know they put a radar on players.
It's called miles per hour.
Oh, no, you know what I mean, though, where it's kind of like,
I know.
There's some baseball bets like that, too, where it's like, I just feel like it's like too easy to be rigged.
I know what you mean, but Deebo Samuel's definitely the correct pick if you're gonna go with that.
But is he gonna get the ball and an opportunity to like get to full speed?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Because like, what if I put Brock Purdy? Jared Goff.
What are the odds for Brock Purdy?
I don't think it would even let you do that. It just says call the number.
Brock Purdy's plus 5,000.
That's not even that good. Brock Purdy top speed 11.5 miles an hour.
Have you ever heard of an octopus in football?
Yeah, I'm gonna bet no on that.
Are you actually gonna bet it?
You could. So no, you could throw it in a parlay though, because what's no on there?
Minus 2,500.
So that's what I saw. So an octopus is a player scores a touchdown and the 2-point conversion on the same drive.
Yeah.
So I assumed no was going to be like minus 10,000. And it's kind of like the first, what was that other one that was minus 10,000? Scorigami. It's like at that odds, you can't even put that in a parlay. Minus 2,500, I'll throw that in a parlay. Nobody's doing that.
All right.
I'm going to throw that in my no sweat parlay.
So we let's talk coin toss.
So I'm looking here at novelty props. Indiana. So we're both in Indiana. We are allowed to bet the coin toss on FanDuel.
Gatorade. Yeah.
We're not allowed to bet Gatorade or national anthem or halftime show.
Ooh.
We can bet MVP. We can bet negative outcomes.
You also can't buy alcohol before noon on Sundays.
Yeah, remember when that was a thing? That was bizarre.
What do you mean, remember when? It still is. What are you talking about?
Is it? I thought they repealed that.
I mean, I guess
I
I
think
haven't tried buying alcohol before noon on a
so.
Sunday, but
I think that like around COVID they got rid of that.
okay. I'll
I'm pretty sure.
I'll find out this weekend, I guess.
There you go. If you get arrested, sorry.
um
Yeah, they don't just refuse you; they actually call the police.
they actually take you out back and shoot you in the head. Yeah.
Yeah,
They waterboard you in the
you
break room. Yeah.
pagan. Yeah. You want a drink? They just
um
waterboard you with a handle of whiskey.
all right. So do you feel like you go heads or tails more often?
I love heads.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I go heads here, and that's what you did on yours, right?
Yeah, I did. Why are
It
you
is
going
funny
heads?
though. I saw this guy say, which is funny. He was like, "If you're betting a coin toss at minus odds, you're an idiot." It was like, "That's." I mean, yeah, but it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it's yeah.
But I guess that's the same as playing like roulette, right? Like that's why it's
The thing that's fun about it is that it's like the most immediate result of like of all like immediately you either get money or lose money and
it's the
yeah.
reason why I love the no run first innings or the first
Sure.
baskets or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just the rush of like a quick I threw $5 on it or whatever.
It's like the cocaine of betting.
Exactly, yeah. It ruins your
Uh,
life.
Wait, did you say you put $5 on it?
No, I'm saying it's one of those
Oh,
things, yeah, you just slap a little money
oh,
on it and
okay.
be
I
like,
was gonna
"Oh,
say,
let's have
did
fun
you
with the coin
actually?
toss." No. I'll bet
Like
the coin toss though.
I
I do
will
it.
bet it, but I'm not gonna do more than like 20 cents on it because I don't care that much. It's just kind of fun to be like, oh look, a
You know
little
what's
extra.
appropriate is we bet 25 cents because it's a
Okay.
quarter. That's
There
what I
is it.
figured.
I don't think it is. I think it's
No, it's
the
not, but it's the
but
thought that
the
counts.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
bet it.
Might as well be a Sacagawea dollar gold coin thing that they don't
True.
circulate anymore.
Well said.
Spell Sacagawea.
SA. Do you know the spelling?
I'm gonna look it up while you're trying.
All right. I'm not looking. All right. Tell me when you're ready. This is a good challenge.
Okay.
SAGAWEA. Final answer.
That's correct.
Yes. Can you use it in a sentence? Sacagawea. No, I'm not gonna say.
Sacagawea. I don't know. I feel like that'd be something like that they should shout out when like Chris Jones sacks somebody. Like
Sacagawea. That would be awesome.
Sacagawea. Yeah.
That would be an electric call.
Just because he's
Nobody
a
does
cheat,
that
you
in
know.
football. Like there's some baseball guys who have like iconic calls. Basketball
Yeah.
too. It's like the bang, like there's
Kevin
like
Harlan. Yeah.
yeah, there's like electric calls that happen. Football is missing that. College football has some with like Gus Johnson, but we need more like funny announcer sayings in
Well, we
football.
had it with John Madden.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you have Chris Collinsworth with now here's a guy.
That just didn't do it for me.
And you also have Jim.
Yeah. Hearing
I don't know,
hearing Romo
Jim.
push himself right to the brink isn't really what I meant. Oh, Jim. Who's Jim? Oh, yeah.
Faster, Jim. Yeah. Uh, we get to listen to that all night Sunday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway. All right.
All
So
right.
that's the
I'm not
coin
seeing
toss.
much else here. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
scrolling through
Well.
like novelties and stuff.
Okay. Well, obviously, we like you said, we can't in Indiana. We can't bet the. We cannot bet the
Gatorade.
Gatorade, but I want to talk to you about it
Gatorade.
anyway. What color would you go with?
Do you have odds in front of you?
No. I can try to look up.
I think I would go with blue.
Why?
I don't think they're going to go with a red. You wonder though. So both teams are red colors. Like, would that be something they do?
All right. I
Clear,
got it pulled
maybe.
up now. Clear, you said?
I would say clear or blue.
All right. So
Those are also just the best Gatorade flavors.
so here, can I tell you what they got here?
Mm-hmm.
So according to FanDuel, just not in Indiana, um so purple is plus 390. Or no, wait, sorry. Let
Okay.
me do this in ascending order. Okay. Orange is plus 300. Blue is
Okay.
plus 370.
Mm-hmm.
Purple and yellow, green, lime is plus 390. Red or pink is plus 550, and clear or water is plus 750.
I like clear. That's good odds.
That's the best odds for sure.
Yeah, I take that.
Just in terms of just being correct, and like with my work league and stuff, I picked yellow. And my reasoning for it maybe isn't a good one, but I chose it because I know a lot of people hate on the flavor, but it is the flavor that is served at the Chicago Marathon. I know that because I
Mm-hmm.
ran it, and
Mm-hmm.
I know that that's because there's certain rejuvenation qualities that citrus brings, and so
Wow, Mr. Science.
yeah, being football, I just think that there's a good chance you could end up with an orange or a
Mm,
yellow for that reason, and
smart.
so I'm going with yellow. Yeah.
Mm. We should look up what is the color scheme on Taylor Swift's new album, and then just pick that color.
That would be a good call too. Um, well, that was wait, we gotta do one more thing. Hold on, let me find.
Okay.
Tell a story while I try to find this thing I took a picture of.
All right, boys and girls. Once upon a time, I don't know.
All right, I found it. Okay,
Okay,
great
good.
job.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so this is from February 1st, so it's a little dated at this point.
Okay.
It's about a week old, but
About a week ago.
this is from this is from Bet MGM.
Okay.
And this is the first song at the halftime show. So this is always fun. So um well, first of all, you tell me, what do you think is he's gonna start with?
I think yeah. I think you got a really good value with where you picked.
Oh
Like
yeah, I
that's
agree
the
with that.
thing I'd pick. Oh
Um
yeah.
I do have like I said, I think I think a lot of people think he's gonna start with yeah, which is why I almost feel like he'll start with OMG.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what the odds say.
Okay.
So yeah is plus 225.
Mm-hmm.
My Way, which I don't know that song. I only know the
I don't
Frank
even remember
Sinatra
it.
version, is plus
I only know
225.
the Limp Biscuit one. My way,
you,
you're the
you don't
highway.
know do you know the Sinatra version?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. At plus 500 is DJ Got Us Fallen in Love.
That doesn't make sense as an opening song. We'll do it, but
Yeah, I'm surprised it's that high, honestly. Plus 600 is Love in This Club.
I forgot about
That's what
that.
I say when I'm holding my sub sandwich.
Jeez.
I'm loving this club. Yeah.
It's a really good dad joke.
Thank you. Um this is probably where you should put your money. OMG is plus 800.
Yeah, that's good odds.
And so if you're betting based on odds, that's the one to go with.
I
Yeah,
just
is
don't
probably the most
understand.
sensible one.
I don't
Go ahead.
understand how this hasn't been leaked and why you're allowed to bet this. Because there's got to be
A set list.
dozens and dozens of people who know the answer. And
Yeah.
what's stopping them from giving their cousin a bunch of cash to go give their best friend money to go give their elementary school teacher money to place a bet for them. You know, like obviously you have to be careful you don't get caught on this
because morals.
And we are not
and
endorsing
the Super Bowl
crime.
is in Las Vegas this year, so we know.
Yeah, I just don't. What's stopping me from maybe it would just raise a red flag if you bet, $80,000 on that. We saw a $500,000 bet just come in on a song. That's interesting. Yeah. But I don't know why. Same with the Gatorade color. If I'm the equipment manager for one of these teams, it feels like a pretty easy way to get yourself a year-end bonus, right?
Well, I've always wondered with the Gatorade color, like, what if either one, they don't mix it properly, or they don't put enough Gatorade powder, so then it doesn't look like the right color. Like,
what if we have a controversy where there's like a maroon Gatorade? Everyone who bet purple was like, "Oh, we got it,"
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
red said, "No, we got it."
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Then 11-1 odds is Boyfriend. 11-1 is Superstar. 12-1 is Burn. 18-1 is Good, and 20-1 is My Boo.
Okay.
Man,
I mean, he's gonna sing a few of those last ones, but the first song's got to be like a song that's got like a quick jump in, like to get the crowd hype. Yeah, it can't be. Burn would not be the first song he plays.
My biggest takeaway from all this is that Usher kind of sucks. So that's that's my biggest takeaway.
He's fine. He's one of those people where it's like you'll hear one of his songs, and this is just my opinion, but like you'll hear a song and you'll like that song, but very rarely am I turning on my music player and like searching Usher. Like you hear a song like playing on just background at a mall or something, and you're like, oh, this is a good song. But I don't think I've ever typed the word Usher into my Spotify.
Well, I just did.
Well, proved me wrong. This song is really good.
It is a really good song.
Are we gonna get a copyright strike for this?
What? I turned it off. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
It's a Little John song. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Lil Jon.
Isn't Lil Jon the name of one of Robin Hood's merry men?
Okay, boomer. Actually, listening to the music artist Lil Jon makes us boomers.
Oh man. All right.
We are old.
Anything else about the Super Bowl that we want to cover on this episode?
No. This should have been the Lions. That's all my last thought.
I
Think
guess
about how much fun it would be right now if we were talking about Jahmyr Gibbs props and St. Brown receptions and next year.
Yeah.
There are futures, 2025 futures already out for Super Bowl.
What are the odds for the Lions?
We'll end on that. NFL.
I was just gonna say while you pull this up, I know I shared this sentiment with you off the air, but obviously it was a super awesome season for the Lions, and I just I hope for your sake, and honestly the NFL's sake, that the Lions are right back there again next year. But from just my perspective as a Chicago sports fan, sometimes it just feels like when you get to that high point, it seems like almost impossible to ever get back to it again. And I'm sure as a Detroit fan with similar sport team failures, you kind of feel that too. And it just was like
everything had to go right to get here. What are the chances it happens again, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, you gotta hope, like I think we talked about this, like you end up putting your hope and trust in ultimately the general manager in constructing a competitive team and making sure there's a competitive and compelling coach to lead them along the way. Which he's obviously done to this point so far. So anyway.
Thank you for that inspirational message. That was helpful. Okay, I got the odds here. Super Bowl 2025. I want you to guess who you think the favorites are. I've got the top 6 up right here.
Jets. I'm just kidding. Wait, top 6?
Yep.
You said top 6?
Yeah, I got the top 6. I can do more than that, but
All
I
right.
got
So
7. Top 5 are fine. If you guess somebody who's not outside the top 5, I'll tell you where they were at, but try to see if you can get the top 5.
okay. Well, top 5 would be the Chiefs.
They're second plus 750.
And okay, don't tell me anymore. I want to try to put them in the right order too.
Oh, okay. All right.
So like, I'll just see if I can get the top 5, then I can put them in the right. So Chiefs and 49ers
Okay.
and Ravens
Are you
and
are you in
Lions.
order right now or no?
No, I'm just trying to get the 5 teams, and I'll put them in order.
Okay.
So Niners, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions. So they're gonna have all the championship series game teams. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then 5th. Okay, this is gonna be maybe outside the box, depending on how you think about it. The Bengals?
So that was a surprise. They're not. They are
Okay.
6th, but I was
Okay.
surprised to
I
see
was
how
really
high they
close
were.
then.
You
I was
were
really
very
close
close.
to that. Then I'm guessing it's gonna be the Bills, even though I don't
Ding,
really
ding,
think
ding,
that
ding, 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 ding. Yep,
I
you
don't really
got
think
them.
I'd put the Bills there. So okay, so if it's an order, then I'm guessing they have it Niners, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, Bills.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the
What are the
5 in
odds
order.
for are the Lion I don't know. What are the odds for the Niners?
Plus 450. They're the favorite.
Okay, so then I'm
Chiefs.
gonna guess hold
Okay.
on.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess the Lions are plus 930. I don't know.
Plus 1200.
Okay,
And
so I didn't go high
they're
enough.
tied with the
Okay.
Bills, so they're listed ahead of them, but the Bills are also
Okay.
plus 1200.
Where are the Bears at?
Not that far
18?
down. They're
Really?
somewhere in the middle here, so let me see.
What do you think that means? Like, what do you think that, like, narrative wise?
They're 17th. Um,
Interesting.
they're ahead of the Browns. That is disrespectful as hell.
That I'm sending that to Sir Yacht. That's awesome.
They're plus 4,000. The Browns are plus 5,000. I think that points to some just noticing that they finished well down the stretch. It also probably points to some excitement about possibly Caleb Williams. I think ultimately, though, that probably is just a sign of it being a big market team. There's probably a lot of people who are Chicago fans who just bet them every year. You know, it's kind of like the
Dude,
Cowboys. Like you're always going to have a big fan base who just, you know, inflates the market for a team. So I don't know. There's not that there's not reasons to be excited, but I think a lot of it's being a big market team.
Okay. I didn't drink any alcohol today, but it might be getting to me anyway because I just had this crazy thought come to my head.
Okay.
All right. So tell me if I'm crazy or not. What if the Browns trade for Justin Fields? I know they traded all this capital and spent all this money on Watson, but if Watson's cooked, like if your medical staff determines that Watson is cooked, you're not going to roll out Flacco for a whole year. Are you really going to go with Dorian Thompson Robinson? You have a like late enough pick that if you offer even if you offer a first rounder or second rounder, the value is not going to be as high that you're giving up because you were in the postseason.
Yeah.
And you have the appeal, obviously, of basically everybody that lives there loves Justin Fields from his Ohio State days. I think I just thought of a brilliant idea.
So I like it. I think if you're a team that's going to trade for a guy like Fields, I think you need to trust your coach's ability to develop quarterbacks. And obviously the
I thought you were
Browns
gonna. I thought you were gonna say to call a running game.
missed opportunity. So I think it's interesting because I'll just say I don't think I would do it if I was the Browns, but I could see the appeal of it because you can get him at a as low as a cost as you could ever get him. You're picking too late to draft a guy who you think is really your guy.
Yeah.
You also do have Chubb returning, so like with a really good running game, a
You're
good tight
basically
end,
the team is ready to
you
win, but
you
if
might be able
Watson's
to have an
holding them
offense to
back,
plug him into. Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's something to the fact. I mean, you give Flacco a lot of props for what he did this year. He's obviously super experienced, and so I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but there's a lot of things going right there if Flacco can step in and have as good of a season as he had. So could Fields step in and look better there than he does in Chicago? Probably. So
yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, I might look at
I don't.
that.
That one just kind of popped in my head, and I was like, "Wow, I actually kind of really like that," because I know people would say, "Oh, they would never do that because of everything that went wrong with Watson," but I'm like, you wouldn't have to give up as much for Fields. He also doesn't need to be paid right now. You have a
That's
year of
why you
him
can't
on
pay
the
him and
cheap.
Watson. Yeah.
Yeah. You have one more
Yeah.
year of him on the cheap, and then you can make a decision. And even at that, you can franchise tag him if you really can't afford him. But I feel like, man, I don't know why. I feel like super brilliant right now. So I just want every single person, whether you're Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, or, you know, or I don't know, Kevin Stefanski himself. I would like the credit for when this happens. And if I don't get the credit, you will speak with my lawyer. So
Adam Schefter via Furious George.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
You're
It's
here to hear
interesting. Yeah.
first. Yeah.
I have not heard anybody say that. I like that suggestion though. It makes some more sense, honestly, to do that than if you're a team like Atlanta
Or the
or
Patriots.
the Raiders, where it's like, okay, you're gonna bring Fields in to what? Then extend him and you're not ready to win. Like it's just
Yup.
yeah, it's a good argument.
What other postseason team?
The Lions. I saw somebody say that though. A
Yeah.
Lions fan.
Oh, really? I was
Yeah, he was
surprised that.
like, our system is so good that any quarterback can look good in it. The one thing Goff can't do is run. What if we got Fields for like a 4th round pick? It's like,
I mean, you would
yeah,
take him for a fourth rounder, wouldn't you? If all you had to give was a fourth rounder,
no. And that
really?
sounds like me being a jerk, but with the
Is that
kind
just
of
for
offense we
drama or?
run, well, it's because okay, I still don't think that Hooker is ever going to play, but if something happens to Goff, I want to see what we have with Hooker. So because of that, like I just don't see any reasonable way Fields would ever see the field. And the other thing too is like in our offense, it's all anticipation and timing throws. So it's like Fields can do stuff Goff can't, but the thing that makes the
Can't do
offense
timing, that's for
work,
sure.
he can't do. So yeah. But I don't know. I think there is something to like. Maybe you could make the argument that if you're a playoff team, because I've always said like he's got to go somewhere. I don't see like a contender bringing him in. The exception though would be if you're a contender because of your defense, and you've had quarterback issues. So yeah, the
So
Browns interesting.
the only two playoff teams that stick out to me are the Browns and the Steelers.
Oh, Steelers would be fun.
Um, well, what I think would actually be
They
really
just brought
interesting.
in
What I think would be interesting is what if now I don't you wouldn't get much for him if you're the Bears, but what if the well for what you can get for him runs dry and you end up settling for like a third round pick from the Ravens, and the Ravens have
hmm,
him as their backup behind Lamar.
yeah,
You don't have to change the game at all if Lamar goes
right,
out, basically. It's just kind
yeah.
of interesting.
That'd be like worst case scenario for the Bears and for Fields, but that I think that's why if you move Fields, you're going to get something for him because somebody would at
Yeah,
least do that to bring him. And that's what I said as the
dude.
Lions. Like, if the
Adam
Lions didn't
Schefter.
have a backup, then sure. But like for the team like the Ravens, yeah,
Yep.
why not?
The Adam Schefter. Tom. Wait, no, it's Tom. I don't know. There's been like 3 or 4 national guys recently that have stated that they think the Bears can get a first. Like it wasn't just Mel Kiper was the first guy, but
Yeah.
since then that's been like backed up. And I'm like, if you can get a first for Justin Fields, accept that offer now. I don't even care if it is, and if the Vikings are like, we can win with Fields, I don't care. It's in division. You take a first rounder from the Vikings right now.
First rounder
Like,
would be a steal for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do Fields PFF grades look like? Because we know Quessy likes those. Are the PFF grades worth the trade?
No, I agree. I think if you can get a first for him, that's a great return. If anything,
Yeah.
you should want to do that within division because you're taking a first round pick away from a division rival.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm still doubtful that they get a 1, but there's 31 teams you could offer him to. All it takes is 1, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So depending where the pieces fall in the draft, I wonder if you could see him being like a draft day trade. Like maybe some guy goes off the board and a team was like,
all the smoke right now is saying that they're going to trade him by the end of February, beginning of March, for the same reason that Poles traded the first pick last year that early, was to fully know what you have going into free agency.
That's smart.
So
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But it all depends on the market and suitors. I mean, if you're not getting what you want and you think you can get more later, then you're probably going to wait. Like maximize the value. But all right, okay. One last Super Bowl thing, and then we need to be done.
Mhm.
What are you eating on Super Bowl Sunday?
That is a great question. So I was telling you before we started recording, we have a busy weekend. Normally we do either pizza, chili, or I would do wings, but my family normally wouldn't. So to me, those are the 3. So normally we end up doing chili or pizza. I don't know what we're doing because my birthday is the day before the Super Bowl. So I know we're doing something for that.
Happy
So I
birthday.
think, thank you. I think we're doing kind of just a low key Super Bowl. We'll probably do like some frozen appetizers, stuff like that. But I don't know. What are you doing? Are you doing a smoker thing?
Maybe.
Oh my.
Yeah. So we're gonna make nachos, some nacho dip, and I think
Mm-hmm.
we said we're going like the full go. So we're gonna do taco meat, the nacho cheese, and we're gonna buy a bunch of like toppings and stuff.
Oh,
Then on the smoker, I have some traditional wings. I don't even know how many I have. I was a 4-pound bag I bought.
drums
I
and
don't know.
flats.
Yeah, so if you go to Walmart, you can
Oh,
get
yeah.
party wings, which is when they've already separated the drums and flats for you, and you can get them frozen. So right now they're upstairs defrosting in my fridge. So I'm gonna smoke
Mhm.
those, and then my family, I'm the only one that likes bone in, so I
Oh,
kept out a
yeah.
cup. I kept out a couple boneless breasts,
Mm.
and I'm going to attempt to chop those and smoke those as well, so they can have some boneless
Hmm.
wings.
Okay.
And then the other thing I'm smoking is jalapeno poppers. So
Oh,
I
yeah. Oh,
what I
I didn't even think about that. I've heard of people, yeah, throwing those in the smoker. That's gonna be great.
so the recipe I saw, dude, I'm so pumped for it. So I've never done this before where normally I just kind of like scrape some cream cheese to the middle of the jalapeno or the
Mhm.
half of the jalapeno. This guy, he softened the cream cheese to be more spreadable. And excuse me, he mixed in shredded cheese with it. And then this
Okay.
is the part that I'm excited about. He also mixed in a like barbecue seasoning in with the cream cheese. And then he put that in the jalapeno half, wrapped it in bacon, put it on the smoker, and then when it was all done, when the bacon was all cooked, he then brushed a barbecue sauce on the bacon and then cooked it for like an additional 10 minutes so it gets set as like a glaze. So that's what I'm going to try to do, to have like a barbecue jalapeno popper.
That sounds really good. So the barbecue sauce will probably kind of like caramelize a little bit.
Exactly. That's exactly what will happen.
Jeez. Send
Yep.
pictures of it.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Jalapeno
Yeah, I
poppers are
will.
so they're very hit or miss. Like it's one to me, it's one of those things. I've never bought like a bagged frozen jalapeno popper that I thought was good. But if you get
I
it
don't know
at
if I've
like a
ever bought it. Yeah.
yeah, like it's not like onion rings or whatever where you can just like throw
I
them
don't
in the microwave, not the microwave, but like make them yourself,
yeah.
easy appetizer. But if you get one that was made well, like even like a
I don't
Wings
like the
Etc. has good
I
jalapeno
don't like
poppers.
the fried ones, honestly. I
No,
prefer where it's just the jalapeno with bacon and the cheese. Like
I like it
I would
fried better, but both are great.
really
So
I
the
yeah,
difference
I
would be
don't,
like if
but
you're smoking it or something, I bet the flavor will be better just with the jalapeno. Um,
see, I find just cooking it in the oven, which I've done before, I find the jalapeno flavor to be very prevalent as
I also
opposed
don't
to
love the jalapenos
okay,
that much. So it's like I
got it.
like it, but like to me, I don't want it that flavor to overpower the cream cheese, which I think it does if it's not fried usually.
You know what you should do? Since it's your birthday weekend, if your family is not going to eat with you, then what you should do is a get yourself an order
Treat
of those
myself.
portobello mushrooms from Wings Etc.
Those
And
are
you can
so good.
and you can just have that, and they can have their grilled cheese and tomato soup or whatever. Um,
You guys can have some Lucky Charms, and I
I
just
mean, would that
ordered 5 appetizers of
would they
portobello mushroom.
would they complain about any of that?
Yes.
My kids wouldn't. They'd be pumped if I was like, "All right, Daddy's gonna get some mushrooms. You're gonna have Lucky Charms and grilled
No, they
cheese."
would
They'd be
just be
like, "All
mad
right,
if I got it from somewhere and they could tell I got it from like a restaurant and didn't get them something. So if I
well,
brought it in
you
and
could
like
tell them
put
I
it on a
got you
plate,
mushrooms."
that's true. Just you can have them if you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would do. I just be like,
That'll be
"Hey,
good.
I mean, these don't have to be mine. Like, make
Mm.
make. I want you to make me not eat them all, okay? And
Mm.
in order, yeah,
Like a reverse psychology.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We need to go to Wings Etc. again soon
We do,
together.
we do.
So good.
That's right. We almost put them out of business with how much we. No, not really, because we spend a
I
lot,
know.
but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we almost let them hire a new staff member. You mean we almost caused them to expand their
oh
yeah.
man.
If you see an ad on TV for Wings Etc. during the Super Bowl, we paid for that.
Also, you won't.
No,
Um,
you won't.
so anyway, all right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. The Super Bowl is upon us. It's one of the greatest weekends of the year as far as sports and sports betting goes. So enjoy, bet responsibly, which is hard to do both at the same time, but do the best you can. And um, yeah, I want to see some good prop bets out there. So if you have any, you can tweet at us at TDT Media or I think it's at Third Down Thurs on social
Mhm.
media, at Furious George 94, at Michigan Hats. I want to see anything. If you got anything creative, anything sticks out to you, love to hear your thoughts. So let us know. But until then, enjoy the Wild Wild West Super Bowl, my little dogies.